I think it's easy to say that that is my favourite white wine I think I've ever had.
Our Montenegrin wine and food tasting this evening is located at a traditional family-run vineyard in the village of Gdanji. Trouble is, it's about a 5 kilometers, I think, from where we're currently staying in Via.
Thankfully though, the host of the wine tour has been kind enough to book us a taxi, which makes getting there a lot easier.
The driver's waiting for us, so we've got to go. Driver was so lovely. We were filming out the window and he thought we were taking photos, so he kept stopping the car and rolled down the windows for us so we could get good shots, and he got out the car as well to show us exactly where we need to go for our wine tour. It's called Garnet Winery, but we've got about an hour and a half before our tour, so we're going to explore this lovely historic village.
I feel like if you googled off the beaten track, you'd find a picture of this place. Made a new friend.
No, you're excited to see new people, aren't you?
In this whole village it seems to be us, a lot of cats, and this dog. Don't lick my knee, don't lick my other knee, don't lick my shoe. Ah, my foot's stuck. Ah!
Find the church we were looking for, but we did have a lot of fun clambering around the ruins, and we learned some interesting facts about this village. It's really small. There were only about 45 inhabitants according to a 2011 census, and it got its name from when King John Vladimir was staying here in the 11th century. He said that his stay was very pleasant. Pleasant translates to the name of this town in Montenegrin, which I think is actually Gdanj or Godanj rather than Gdanji, because the taxi driver was saying it differently. But irregardless, we can see why he thought it was a great stay. The views over the bay are amazing.
It's now just about time for our wine tasting tour, so we're going to head to Garnet Vineyard and meet our host.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, let's bring first the water to refresh, and after that we will prepare the food, and the wine is there. So
We've just arrived for our wine tasting. Firstly, our hosts are incredibly welcoming. It seems as though we're the only people doing the wine tasting today, which is perfect. They brought us out some water to refresh us, and I was just speaking to the host who was telling me that his family have actually been here for 13 generations. The winery has been here as long as that as well.
Lovely snacks for us, and they poured us our first wine. It is a Chardonnay. Obviously it's grown here and made here, so Chardonnay is one of my favourite wines. I'm going to try it. Oh, that's nice. It's very light, very fruity. That's what he said. Also, I know I'm not trying it in a really fancy way. I don't really know that much about wine, I just know what I like. He said that it was good to try it with the olive bread and also the cow's cheese, so This is some olive and anchovy paste they made on some homemade bread. I love olives, and that's a bit of me. It's really good. Does it go with the wine? It's really interesting how food changes the taste of wine, and that complements it perfectly. This is the cheese they recommended it with. Very smooth, soft cow's cheese. I think you'll really like this cheese.
I like all cheese.
We both like all cheese.
White wine isn't my favourite type of wine. I much prefer reds, but this already smells good. Ooh, wow. I think it's easy to say that that is my favourite white wine I think I've ever had. That is really good. Okay, the cheese is amazing. The next wine we're trying is the rosé. It's made with a Varanus grape, which is local to this area, and it smells amazing. Oh wow, that's so good. That's amazing. It's a lot more fruity than the Chardonnay, obviously, and apparently it goes really well with some of the spicy cheese and the meat, which I don't need an excuse to eat. Firstly, that cheese is incredible. Second of all, it goes really well with the rosé. Even though you have the spiciness and the fruitiness combined, it works really well.
This is a lot darker than most rosés I've tried before, and our host said, well, he gave us quite a lot of information about it. I'm not going to try and recite all of it to you, you have to come here and try it for yourself. But he said that it's because it's made from a grape which they traditionally use for red wine. Ooh, that's really good. It's really fruity actually, really complex flavour. We've got some prosciutto, which is a very kind of typical, traditional Montenegrin food. We've had it everywhere so far. Goes really well. This is a great choice to come here, wasn't it?
Yes.
This region is known for its red wine. They've actually been producing wine around here since the Roman times. Not the exact vineyards, but wine has been made here for that long. This wine is actually made in a very unusual way. They actually take the skins out at some point during the process instead of leaving them on, which is where you'd normally get the red colour. And he said they keep it in the fridge, which is really interesting because they keep it in the fridge and then warm it up to room temperature so that it doesn't lose the alcohol in the heat. Oh, that's a nice red. It's very fruity, medium bodied. The wine is so good. These glass sides are really generous. And this isn't something they normally do, but they'd just made some homemade cheese pie, so they brought us out a slice, which looks incredible. If you come here, don't expect this because it's not something that they normally do, but since it was freshly baked, they thought they'd give us some to try. You are going to absolutely love this. It's lots of melted cheese and herbs in layers of really thin whole grain pastry. It's really good. And it goes really well with the wine. I mean, cheese and red wine. Great combination anyway.
As I mentioned earlier, I am massively a red wine fan, so this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. Oh wow. That's such a unique taste. I've drank, I don't want to admit this, a lot of red wine over the years. This has probably one of the most unique tastes I've ever had. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, and it's so good.
So after our lovely wine tasting and food, the host has brought us out some fruit liqueurs to try. One of them is a lemon liqueur. It's really lemony. It's basically a sweeter, more lemony version of limoncello, which I'm all for.
I'm going to try the cherry one first, which is apparently a sour cherry. Here's a testament to how British I am. I didn't know whether or not we were supposed to shot this, but apparently we just sip it. Oh wow. It's very, very, very sweet and very syrupy, but you really get the taste of the cherries come through. Any drinks that I've had before that are cherry flavoured don't have that richness to them, but this is really good. We have had an absolutely amazing few hours here at our wine tasting. Our hosts were incredibly welcoming and really knowledgeable about every aspect.
Now we're going to get a taxi back to where we're staying, via Parza, so we're going to call it a night. See you tomorrow. I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
I feel like this happens every video.
We do a lot of walking in places with large rocks.
That should be our tagline.
One man and one woman. Large rocks. Can they do it? Find out at some point when they finally get their internet sorted and upload a video.
Coming to a cinema near you.